Hey everyone, today I want to talk about the sodium potassium pump, which is super important for our cells. Basically, this pump helps keep the right balance of sodium and potassium ions inside and outside of our cells. So, how does this work? The sodium potassium pump moves 3 sodium ions out of the cell and it brings in 2 potassium ions inside of the cell. It does this using energy from ATP. This process does help maintain the cell's resting potential, which is necessary for things like nerve signals and muscle contractions. Now, why is this pump important? Well, first, it keeps the inside of the cell negatively charged, which, as we know, that is crucial for sending messages into our nerves and making our muscles work. Second, it helps control the size of the cell by balancing ion levels so that the cell doesn't swell up or shrink. And third, in places like our intestines or our kidneys, it helps with nutrient absorption by creating the right conditions for the other processes to work. Lastly, in heart cells, it helps keep our heartbeat regular. And without this pump, our cells would not function properly. Overall, I hope this helps you to understand how the sodium potassium pump works. And next, I will hopefully be able to show you a visual that I found to better help you put what it looks like to what I just explained.
3 sodium ions bind to the cytoplasmic side of the protein, causing the protein to change its conformation. In its new conformation, the molecule becomes phosphorylated at the expense of a molecule of ATP. The phosphorylation induces a second conformational change that translocates the 3 sodium ions across the membrane. In this new conformation, the protein has a low affinity for sodium ions, and the 3 bound sodium ions dissociate from the protein and diffuse into the extracellular fluid. The new conformation has a high affinity for potassium ions, 2 of which bind to the extracellular side of the protein. The bound phosphate now dissociates, and the protein reverts to its original conformation, exposing the 2 potassium ions to the cytoplasm on the inside of the cell. This conformation has a low affinity for potassium ions, so the 2 bound potassium ions dissociate from the protein and diffuse into the interior of